Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
Your system. All right, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, But it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the second set of games for you for the Esports Showdown Series Season 5 Valorant powered by Crucial by Micron with the GP partners Zotai Gaming and media partners Gossip.gg. The initial best of 3 left a lot to be desired for in some instances because X-Crew, ooh boy, were they a force to be reckoned with. The nearest bus stand, they're going to have a one-way ticket down over to the lower bracket grand finals, but who will be joining them there? This is what we're here to find out. It's going to be your boy Aggressive with Anna on my side to bring you all the action. Nahana, how excited are you for this lower bracket run of Team Ace versus the members of... Did I mess it up for a second? No, of course not. Yes, continue. It seems as though Anna's going to need to fix her microphone for a little bit. It is going to be Zerofrags who are going to be on for the matchup. But yes, now that she is back, talking about the side of Zerofrags here because they have a lot of work cut out for them because we know that Ace, they are the top dogs for this lower bracket run.
Exactly. I mean, we've been praising because I'm Batman since the beginning. You've done that. Auzora's done that. I've done that. This desk has constantly praised this man. He's not only played individually amazing in the games, but also showed up on the level up leaderboard. After seeing that much from someone and then the interview again gives it a personal touch, becoming almost a fan, and then figuring out that today is going to be such a difficult fight that it might just end up into them dropping out of the complete run altogether. It's scary. I'm hoping and praying for them to at least be able to give a fight which is going to take us to the third map, which from all of the data that's around out there, it feels like it's definitely going to happen. The way they were able to squeeze their victory yesterday, I'm hoping for them to be able to show up with the same caliber today.
It's going to be a bit of an issue, but
Exactly.
I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt here because Zerofrags as a team, they have proved time and time again that they are a roster that can go the distance. They know how to adapt their strategies depending on what's being thrown at them, but this level of adaptability needs to be pretty accurate, to say the very least, because any small mistake that you do up against Team Ace, players like One Tap God will instantly be able to pounce upon that opportunity to take the victory away from you.
True that.
It's going to be difficult,
Zerofrags,
but it depends on the map selection as well when you think about it.
True that. But if Zerofrags wins this, you can see the first match ever for the upper bracket quarterfinals was Nearest Bus Stand and Zerofrags. We'll have a revenge matchup in the lower bracket finals if Zerofrags wins this. And between those two, if again Nearest Bus Stand wins, we get to see yet another revenge matchup happening. That too on a very huge endurance-based BO5 with X-Crew. That's something I'm going to be rooting for. But yes, Team Ace, the way they've been playing, it's been amazing. And the maps that are going on in here, Ascent is crawling back in. And I'm not happy about it.
I mean, sometimes a little bit of vanilla is good for you. I
Too
mean,
much of it
spicing
there already.
I mean, have we seen Ascent at all in this entire Showdown series yet? Not really. So a little bit of vanilla
I've
is
seen it so
not
much
bad.
already in my life.
True. I'm getting a little bit bored of all the other maps coming in. Yeah, of course, Lotus, incredible map to say the very least. But now that it's now so much more commonplace, having that vanilla back being put into the mixture is not a bad thing. It's going to be Lotus, Ascent, and Haven. Pretty standardized map pickups. Bind getting banned out by most teams these days because Bind now has turned into a map that every team has started to build their strategies upon. If you're not good at executing on Bind, you're going to be in a tough, precarious situation. While Ascent, why do a lot of teams ban it out over the map of Bind in some instances? It's because Ascent, we talked about this in the past too, right? It has one composition that always can work for you. The meta just doesn't shift in any other system. And the people who have shifted the meta, they need to brute force it as much as they possibly can. I do believe that the most up and coming composition, has to be the Deadlock and Cypher comp that a lot of American teams have started to adopt in the Challenger series, But then again, even if the American teams are able to do it, a lot of the other regions are just not able to adapt it onto that same level.
True. I do believe that it's going to be kind of difficult for the teams here. I mean, again, Ace has their potential, has their, show for it. You've told that they constantly are a team who's, very professionally approaching all their matches, reading maps, reading teams, reading player behaviors nonetheless, and checking all the boxes. But at the same time, if you talk about Zerofrags, the raw potential that they bring to the table and the complete, instinctive manner that they approach the whole thing with is pretty interesting. So, I mean, I do want to see what these teams are going to be bringing to the table. I hope to see a little bit of composition change here just to throw each other by surprise. And also because the maps that have been picked are very standard maps. And on these maps, 90% of the times we can already tell what's going to happen, specifically when it comes to the strats. So if there's a mix in the overall agent composition, that's going to be a most invited change.
Yeah, Lotus, I don't think it's going to be that far off from what we usually know of. The Neon's going to be there as a must. The initiators have a slight bit of a change up, but we don't really know what to expect just yet. But as we are going to be waiting for the players to get prepped up and ready, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a small little interview for you guys. Let's check it out. Which team is going to be?
Hello guys, this is Hikam Sari from gossip.gg, and with me I have Batman from Zerofrags. How are you feeling right?
I'm feeling good. Qualified. That's nice. We qualified with quite good results, so that's nice.
Okay, that's great. So without further ado, let's start with the questions. How do you divide your roles within the team?
Divide our role. There is obviously an IGL, but we don't want to put the entire pressure on him, right? So we also have a mid-round caller who can, help him with all the information that is fed to the IGL. But in between, sometimes if I feel like, okay, the site is empty, there are not many people there, I want to push here. Sometimes I take that role as well.
Okay.
So basically, we're just trying not to burden just one particular person with all the duties.
Okay.
Try to share the responsibilities and make everyone feel fun, not feel like a burden.
The next question, how did you get started playing Valorant and what drove you to the competitive scene?
Competitive scene, I'm getting very old and it's been like 3 months since I joined the scene.
Okay.
The org approached me because they saw my YouTube channel was why not try my hand at it, because I'm not gonna get any younger. I'll try my hand at it. I started playing. I started with CS a long time ago. When I was 18, my friend introduced me to it. That's how I started. And then Valo came out, so I tried my hand at it.
What are your short-term and long-term goals for your team in the Valorant competitive scene?
Short-term goals, well, obviously we want to win a big tournament. That could be very nice. And long-term, we just want to get better as a team. We want to learn from our mistakes. Because obviously as a new team, we make a lot of mistakes. We have lost damn lot. It's good to, pick on that, but to learn from it and be better as a team.
Now the last question, what are your personal strengths as a player and how do you contribute to the team's success?
I can say that I'm much older than my teammates. They're quite young. Some of them are in school 7. So I have to, tell them that it's okay to lose. It's not a permanent setback. You just learn from it. And I try to keep the morale up. Okay, we lost. Doesn't matter. Learn from it. Move on. Do not, just get stuck on that loss.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I entry quite nice. That's good, maybe.
So guys, this was Batman from Zerofrags, and we wish you all the best for the next matches, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Hello guys, this is Hikamsari from gossip.gg. With me I have Masters from Ace. How are you feeling, Masters?
I'm feeling very good. How about you?
Ekdam mast. So without further ado, let's have the questions. First question I'm going to ask you is, how do you divide your roles within your team?
So basically, we have actually, just like in the last interview Trevor said, we have actually chosen our players according to the roles they are comfortable playing. We have chosen players who are actually playing that role from a long time, so they're good at it, they're skilled at it. So that helps us.
What are your personal strengths as a player, and how do you contribute to your team's success?
I feel like my personal attribute that I offer to my team is my firepower. I'm often playing on the front line of the team. I'm helping my team take fights. I'm helping my team to take trades, and I'm just giving them control as much as I can as a controller, because it's my job.
How do you adapt to playing against different playstyles and strategies?
Within the first 5 to 6 rounds, we try to understand the enemy playstyle, how they are playing, and what kind of situations they are trying to create. We try to defend them. We try to create counter strategies that can break through their plays. We try to communicate with each other as much as we can, and that's how we break through.
Okay. How have you prepared for this specific tournament, and what are your expectations?
Basically, I'm putting my hours into my game every day. I'm playing various competitive matches. I'm doing range. I'm doing every other aim training softwares. We are preparing ourselves every day. We are creating new strategies. We are training different maps, different strategies. We are trying out things in scrims and all. And this is how we are preparing ourselves for the upcoming TEC matches.
And the last question, how do you manage the pressure of competing in a tournament environment?
Well, it is quite difficult to handle the pressure, of course. I try to keep myself calm. I try to keep myself as stable as possible mentally, because at the end of the day, mental is what keeps you growing up, progressing in the game. So I try to keep myself as well as my team stable, keep on playing with confidence.
Okay. So yeah, guys, this was Masters from Ace. I wish you very well for the upcoming matches, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Yes.
You can tell that Masters is the cool-headed one when it comes down to the side of Ace. Be the presence that really calms everything down. On one side, you have Batman. On the other side, you have Masters. You can see the structure that Team Ace have under their belt. So, versus Zerofrags, they're probably shaking in their boots for this one, because Batman said it themselves. They make a lot of mistakes. They are still a brand new roster. They are still full of young, very talented players that don't really have that experience. That's what they're going up against, experienced veterans. That could be their biggest strength, because think about it. The young guns, they don't have a lot of information on them. They're still brand new players being molded by everything that they're being exposed to. That is their strength. While on the other side, the biggest weakness for the experienced players will be that they will expect a certain playstyle. And if that expected playstyle doesn't come through, how fast will they adapt to it?
Exactly, and as we were discussing even before the interviews came into play, that one of the best things that's going to be there for the side of Team Ace is going to be switching things up a little bit, so that Zerofrags would have a longer time covering themselves around those tracks, because again, lack of experience is going to get in the way. They will need some more rounds to be able to adapt, some more rounds to be able to put themselves in the right shoes, in the right mindset, to be able to go ahead and attack this head on. However, a really big part of me wants to see this match go on for as long as possible, because as you said, for multiple reasons, Ace seems like the team that's gonna win this. And I am just not ready to see Zerofrags go yet. I just am not.
Yeah,
all that pizzazz
they do have the personalities too. True. They do have a lot of personality on this team too, but the saddest thing is that one team has to go down. It's the lower brackets. here at the Showdown Series, we have to crown a winner at one stage, and it either has to be Team Ace or Zerofrags. Both sides have extremely talented players, each individual really putting their hearts and pouring everything they have into the game. But at the end of the day, game of Valorant can be cruel. Because of it, we need to make sure that each and every game that you play, you're gonna try to make it count. Map of Lotus will of course be the starting point for both of these teams, and as they are setting everything up inside of the game, I'm kind of expecting Ace to be a little bit wary to what the members of Zerofrags are going to be capable of, because that entry potential that Batman brings onto the table, it's not because of the setups being done by the initiator. It's because he, as an individual, just far outshine anything that his opponents could do to try to stop him.
And he has to. He has named himself Batman, and he shows up and justifies that name every single time that he's playing up there.
Absolutely.
Except for the fact that Batman shouldn't kill anyone. That's just one thing that because I'm Batman still continues to do. But yes, I mean, the way he plays specifically on that Neon, he's shiny all across. He's lustrous. And the way he takes those entries, gets himself into the sites and takes those frags, it's completely amazing. And to top it all of these three sites that are going to be played today, all of these three maps that are going to be played today, are going to be very welcoming for that type of playstyle. Ascent maybe a little bit less, but on Lotus and Haven, he's had enough experience being a Neon, going for a victory run since the beginning of lower brackets. The first match, yes, they lost again nearest percent, but then after, they have continued having their streak of wins after wins. So I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to unfold for them.
And they can almost guarantee that top 3 position if they are able to make it forward from here. So having a chunk of that prize pool is pretty much warranted for them, because the team really has showcased their improvement from the very beginning. And I'm kind of surprised that you say that Batman doesn't kill, because technically he breaks almost every bone in their body, and the medical expenses alone is probably going to kill them. Don't forget, they are from America, so...
Well, Gotham does not exist in real world, so...
Oh yeah, so the medical expenses are pretty low too, right?
Maybe not, I don't know. He owns Wayne Industries. He has enough money to go ahead and start a hospital just to treat the people he has injured.
Hey, that's probably what Batman does do. Free healthcare for all, just because Batman breaks every bone.
Probably. Even for the people going through PTSD, there's Arkham Asylum right there. You can have all the solutions in the world, except for the fact that you cannot go ahead and commit any crimes.
Yeah, this Batman's going to be also causing some PTSD for his opponents when he is going to be jumping on that Neon. But at the same time, will he have that same level of strength when he is trying to fight against One Tap God? It's a real question. One Tap God on that Neon, in a way, his Jet seemingly is, of course, in my opinion, still one of the more stronger pickups for him. But even then, his Neon has just evolved into something that a lot of people have really started to fear. The overdrive from his part, yet not as potent as a player like Salon's. Like, Salon's overdrives have been game-changing in a lot of instances. Same goes for Batman, but One Tap God falls back on that category. He's been improving on it by a large margin from the last couple of seasons that he has been playing the Neon. Things have changed out drastically. The evolution of One Tap God being able to fit into this role, it's beautiful to watch, but the first initial map, I do believe there's a pretty good chance that One Tap God might just go in for a raise instead of that. But it all does depend on what the team synergy is going to be building upon.
Absolutely, and if he does go for a raise, we can look for a shining, silver line of hope for the side of Zerofrags, because they have had a lot of experience fighting against compositions made of raise, specifically on the map of Lotus. However, it's not going to be anywhere similar to whatever they have faced so far, because from what I've seen already, Ace has a completely different level of caliber and a completely different level of polishing on all of their tiny little bits of play, which just puts them a bar ahead of everyone else. So It's definitely going to be a difficult run, but I'm not going to be that, pessimistic, believing that it's just going to be a 2-0, very one-sided, completely towards Ace. Zerofrags does bring a lot to the table, and that's going to be impressive enough.
as we are going to be waiting a little while longer, ladies and gentlemen, also make sure to check out the links down below in the description. Extremely sorry for all of the delays. We're trying to jump into the game as soon as we possibly can. We're making sure that the players back at home are, of course, prepped and ready to jump into the game with their full mechanical capabilities as well. We don't want any form of disconnects to disrupt the experience that you guys have back at home. Plus, the players being able to put in their 100%. Of course, give a shout out to our lovely sponsors at Crucial by Micron and of course Zoltag Gaming for making all of this possible here. And of course GG for giving us the lovely interviews that we were able to witness from each and every one of the players. But as we are going to be on the topic, we have really focused on the map of Lotus quite a bit. Let's talk a bit more about Ascent. Ascent, it has a very generic composition, yes. But do you think that there might be a change up?
All right. So I would like you to take the lead on this. Impressive. Yeah, you got this.
Apparently we did get information that Ace did have a little bit of a technical difficulty coming in from their side, and we have given them an allotted amount of time, but as the time has now passed, Ace has decided to forfeit the first map, which is going to be going in Zerofrags' favor because this map was heavily in the favor of Zerofrags in a certain situation. So them being able to take the first map is going to be working out well for them. But the second map will still be in front of your screen soon enough, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully Ace will be able to fix out their technical difficulties. We'll be back with a lot more Valorant action soon enough.
Your system. Alright, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The Esports Showdown Series Season 5 Valorant powered by Crucial by Micron with our GP partners Zotag Gaming and our media partners Gossip.gg. First map, very anticlimactic victory, I would say, for the members of Zerofrags. They were able to take that victory in a very decisive fashion, I would say.
Yes, they fought really hard. It was very one-sided match. I loved the action overall. I mean, this was an impressive one. We weren't expecting to see Zerofrags have such a fluid victory, but they still got it. So I'm very happy for them.
Absolutely. But we're going to be jumping immediately into the agent selection screen. No dilly-dallying here. Hopefully this is where the change-up is going to happen. And remember what I was talking you? Remember what I told you about the map of Ascent?
Yes.
The one change-up, the Cypher Deadlock combination. This is where the real fun will be at. I was completely doing guesswork, by the way. Think about it. This is a composition that was always adopted by the NA Challenger League. The Challenger players constantly love to pick up on this comp. Now that there is a team here in our region who started to pick up on this composition instead, no wonder they wanted to pick the map of Ascent. Ace, they have a game plan cooking. And if Wimp is able to use this deadlock to its fullest degree, no matter what happens on the attack side or even on the defensive side, I'm pretty sure that Zerofrags, even when they have the map advantage going into this, they're going to be in for a world of hurt to try and counteract this overall.
True that, completely agree. We've seen Wimp be amazing at the deadlock so many times. Like yesterday itself, we had a big example of it. And I mean, the way the game is going to unfold is going to be pretty challenging for both the teams. Because now, even though we could not really dive into the action, there is a map advantage for the side of Zerofrags. So giving even a little bit of breathing room to Zerofrags might just turn out to be a sad for the side of Ace. All things aside, I'm just very confused about the jet pick from the side of Zerofrags. I have not seen it happen before, and I'm not as sure about this pick as I am with the neon pick for the side of Batman.
They're looking to find a little bit of an advantage, but immediately as soon as they found out the Cypher is playing towards B, instant rotations over towards the A side. The A side is not any better when you think about it. A couple of good bullet shots here. They're going to be able to break out the wall. But and then rotations coming through. F-Noob needs to be the main man for this one.
Very sneaky.
He's able to find a rotation for it. It's going to be perfect. Looks towards the player, in towards the back. The shot's yet to connect. Dr. Evil really needed to find it, but they're kind of done for. F-Noob with another kill with only 1 HP to his name to try and hold on to. With the sideline coming through.
Goodness.
It's free for Ace.
The support from the side of ZFR is just amazing. I mean, F-Noob was losing HP. He was literally on 1 HP when he got his final one. They knew it wasn't a fight he had to be put into. They wanted a flawless, they tried for it. They lost a player in the process, but that's about it. Not a lot of damage taken from the side of Zerofrags. And considering in a pistol round, you had to like literally empty up a couple of magazines on the deadlock wall, you still were able to find your way in. You still were able to go ahead and get yourself the victory. Appreciable. Not going to be any complaints. But this Marshall is going to be a tricky thing to stand against this time around, because again, the map of Ascent, you do want to be very careful because of the angles that are provided for a jet player on this map.
Absolutely. Let it be a Marshall, let it be an Outlaw. There's always going to be problems. Leonin. He finds the answer. One tap God, getting caught out of absolutely nowhere. F-Noob.
Already shutting it down, yeah.
Playing his cards well here. Wasn't for the early hit. Gets the first catch over towards Ezzy. Revel. Trying to see if he can survive, maybe with a cheeky kill over towards a Killjoy, but even then, not going to be a possibility. It's already done and dusted here. The members of Ace, they are left to lick their wounds and figure out what to do in the following buy round.
Not a really good round for the side of Ace. Yes, there was weaponry disadvantage, I get it, but I wasn't expecting such a strong round for the side of ZFR. I was expecting a win on the second round, but not that strong a win. Because again, Ace needs to understand, no matter what, this is not a map you give a leeway on. Because they already have that extra map safety net for themselves. ZFR, I mean, Ace cannot afford to give a single map to ZFR anymore. It's done and dusted if that happens. They have to be on their toes all across. Anyways, going to the actual round where there is weaponry, One Tap God will be able to take revenge for the previous round. There will be shut down. Information game is gonna fall weak for the side of ZFR here.
What?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, things are turning around.
Absolutely. 2 big kills already. Guns in the hands of the players of Team Ace. Really does change how they want to take this engagement. One Tap God early for the fight, but a little bit shaky here for his aim. Not really the One Tap God that we know and love, but overall, as he tried to go in for the hit, but Batman, steady as always. His entries and his duels just looking sublime. They need a smoke towards mid, but they have absolutely nothing. The weapon cannot be retrieved for free. Kawaki on the angle. Can cause a good chunk of damage if he wants to! And he finds the fight. Takes out 2. The members of Ace, they are at the advantage going into it moving forward.
30 seconds.
Kawaki has literally created a win condition here for himself, for his team. I mean, the way FNoob drained out Cypher from the side of Team Ace and made sure that Batman was able to go ahead and capitalize that kill was very beautiful. The right kind of bait setup that should have been there, but after that, it just fell down. And it was bound to, but the way Kawaki found those kills definitely put Ace in a comfortable position to go ahead and squeeze this round. However, I still do believe that the amount of weapons they've lost, it's not the worst of situations, but it's also not the best. They should have been able to walk in with a little more to hold on to.
But I think they're thanking their lucky stars that they're able to take this
Obviously,
victory for themselves. Very important round win as well for them to find. Economy not looking the greatest, as you just did state, but overall, still have more than enough to go into this round with proper buys.
Oh goodness, the start does not look good for either side. Trades are going to be coming in, but there's still going to be an upper hand for the side of ZFR because not only do they get the frags, but also find an easy entry into the site. Kawaki again going to be a sneaky man up there. Gonna have to be very careful of that. The use of fragment will delay the push from the side of One Tap God, also result in his demise as the clone jet goes ahead and takes that frag. Kawaki being spotted, but the bullets are just not gonna connect to the right numbers. Again, a difficult situation.
No.
Flash and a whim. On a whim, the fight will be won by the deadlock. A 2v2.
remaining. Spike
Not
down.
for long.
B.
A very advantageous situation for the side of Ace yet again. A close in their favor. This round was so dicey all across, aggressive. Please shed some light on how this went through. I mean, this is confusing. You could never tell who's winning.
This was just a Hail Mary of a play coming in from Wimp 2. If Lead was able to find that kill, this would have been a completely different standing for it. But overall, the hesitation that was being showcased by the members of ZFR was one of their biggest weaknesses. They were hesitating in for the overall entry. They could have went in for the full play onto the player on the back of side, but instead, small mistakes here and there when they came to take those gunfights really caused their members to falter. They had the advantage, but kind of got lost in the sauce, as we all would put it. For now, jumping into this round, this could be a little bit more different for them. Batman with the Blade Storm could bring a little bit more of a change up. The Odin can cause problems, yes, but it's all a waiting game now for them. If FNoob, it's the timing here. Tripwire, as soon as it's broken, Kawaki, he's gonna let the paranoia rip.
It's a wait game. It's a wait game on both the sides. Nobody wants to make the first move. This reminds me a lot of the freeze strat coming in from the side of Fnatic at one point of time. Not working out as good for the side of ZFR though.
Remaining.
They weren't able to execute it in the way they would expect. And again, an Odin on the opposite side, whenever it's Ascent, is always dangerous because you know those bullets are penetrating through all across.
Here.
Summer being the only one, I don't think he can bring as much sunshine this time around.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case here. But the Omen can possibly get a kill. Not up against Ezzy, though. Has the shots
Too easy for
ready
Ezzy.
to connect. True. His name is Ezzy for a reason. Ace. Yeah, he had a 3-2 scoreline going for this one. Rough start, but as soon as the buys come in, the team just transforms into something different. This is Ace for you. Map where you're running. The new possible meta composition, if Wimp is able to pull off the big plays. As of right now, they're able to do so. The individual brilliance of Wimp is just unmatched by pretty much everyone. No matter what agent he plays, he keeps bringing it onto the table.
True that, and since the moment real strats have started showing up on the table, there has been a strong domination from the side of Team Ace in this game, which not only is alarming for the side of ZFR, even though they have a map in hand, it's definitely scary. It's more so alarming for the side of nearest bus stand, because the next match is going to be against them, and after seeing someone go ahead and annihilate on that level with a completely new composition, it's going to leave them scratching their heads wondering on how they're going to fight it when it comes to them. Look at that shotty coming into play. Kawaki just did not flinch. No hesitation whatsoever.
Kawaki giving the laugh. He had no idea where the player just went off to. He expected Batman to disappear, but he was sitting right behind him. This is a well-played round coming out from Ace as well. ZFR being a little bit too overzealous in their overall approach. They need to slow things down and just communicate with one another of what the hit is going to look like. Because currently, F-Noob, he got that first kill, but at the same time, he just didn't need to swing. He needed to wait for his teammates to get in position so that they can both take the fight together on B main. But instead, slower engagement is just bringing them back down to earth. One tap got getting a big kill over towards Batman too. That's the opening frag that they needed. The defense now can just play for the advantage.
Exactly, being on the attacking side, losing your duel is that early in the game, specifically one that has all this mobility and potential. Alongside now you don't have any information either on how to move forward because your Sova's gone, no more intel to be gathered. This does not look like a good start for the side of ZFR.
Not for
Nice
F-Noob.
positioning for the side of Summer. Not gonna convert into a frag though.
Not able to find much of an opening either. F-Noob has to be spotted here over towards the bottom side. Already gonna get taken down before he can even take a breath here. It's 5-2, and honestly speaking, Team Ace, they have the answer, plus with the operator in the hands of One Tap God, it's gonna be even more difficult to try and take free space away from them. One Tap God didn't really have the best of starts, but now that the operator's in his hands, he's a sentry turret that can instantly murder you if you try to fight into his position.
True that. Team Ace has the answers, they have the skills, they have the luck and some more. They have all four of their ultimates online, they have the operator online, they've been winning round after round. Look at that Hunter's Fury already hunting down two players from the side of ZFR and not leaving much to be taken back. These are scattered pieces from the side of ZFR which just have to recombine themselves into becoming a skyscraper, which seems like a very difficult duty considering it's only 3 players on board. The lockdown definitely has been potential, but not in this condition. Not against this stacked up complete composition on the opposite side.
It's gonna be difficult, but the difficulty is where the members of ZFR really
Oh, look at
find their foothold. But yeah, I was just about to say that One Tap got already in towards the backline, needs to immediately jump on away, not really risk it anymore. The operator in his hands needs to be in this fight for as long as possible. He is a threat looming over the heads of ZFR. As long as he's still alive with this op, no angle is safe for them to swing into for free. Now that they have info that the op is on B, A side could be ripe for the picking.
No surprises.
Maybe, maybe not. You do have so many ultimates online already. And look at that perfect use of Annihilation, clearing the way for the side of Wimp. But the retaliation from the side of ZFR is just going to be stronger. They don't have the time though. It's not going to be easy to go ahead and make that plant possible. They're losing numbers in that process. It's going to be a 2v3 still. They do have the right kind of ultimates to be able to convert this around. And Null Command can just give them extra breathing room and it's going to be deployed. And a 1v1 to be converted, still not the one that's gonna go in the favor of ZFR. Ezzy stood there patiently holding the ground, could neither be taken away from the time nor from people. Ace just winning that on a last whim. A great attempt from the side of ZFR, did not seem like a round they could bring for themselves. And yet one that was heavily invested in and still not converted.
Kind of what happens from time to time. But for Ace, it's another day in the office for them, especially for Ezzy. Ezzy's already down up. He's already up to 10 kills on the scoreboard, leading the charge. Really showing that the first map being in the advantage of ZFR doesn't really mean much. Because Ace looking for the overall victory here. Wim ready with a grav net to just hold them back even further. Doesn't really catch anyone, which is one of the bigger issues here. Wim given a chance to immediately run on away. The wall perfectly utilized, gonna slow them down to even further. But with the push coming through from Fnoob, he's already in towards the side. One tap god, another big kill for him as Kawaki. Position still unknown. You can stay in the side of the side. And I don't think they're gonna clear him. They haven't.
Oh, he does get called though. The frag and then instant weapon change. Any which ways, a 2v3 now. Team Ace on the downside of numbers can still collect all the information with that neural theft, but not gonna be as necessary. They already know where the players are. This Odin through this paper thin wall can actually start annihilating players if and only if Cypher has communicated the information. Well, now he knows exactly where the players are. Just needs to keep showering the bullets, do it at a much quicker pace.
Concentrate, Sova.
Oh no. Enough time has been taken away, won't be able to defuse anymore.
Good tight though from Dribble. If that Odin had a little bit more bullets, maybe he could have opted from the spam and gotten a secondary kill as well, but really good try overall. For the members of ZFR, that's the lifeline that they really needed. Good post on positions overall, as all the members were in optimum spots, but their economy still will not be looking that good. They won the round, but at what cost? They don't really have any buys going into this next one, while One Tap God can still buy into this operator. As you can tell, multiple members still having to buy out the light shields, with one not even able to buy out a rifle for himself. It's going to be a tough call for them to try and get back into. ZFR, unless they start to win out their rounds in a lot more decisive fashion, it's going to be a steep climb to try and get to that 6-6 scoreline.
That it's gonna be. I mean, they finally get a round after such a big gap, and still it's gonna be one that was so hard fought for. I mean, there's no ease, no comfort coming in for the side of ZFR. They have no room to breathe. Teamer Ace, on the other hand, taking more and more space towards side B, trying to squeeze the players down. Walking back at the right moment, being able to shut down One Tap God, being able to make sure that the operator gets taken out of the play. That's good. It's a one-way smoke, so it's going to be difficult to fight off against. And look at that barrage of bullets coming in from the side of Dr. Evil. Definitely going to shut multiple players down.
30 seconds left.
Not as rewarding though.
Ouch, Batman.
Bringing the big back. Beautifully done. It's a 2v2 now. This AP is pretty low on Batman.
Does he read this, Wimp? Towards the front lines, he needs to wait for his teammate to give him a little bit of playmaking potential. Teleport across, one more spotted, but Summer still hits the shot. able to find the flick that he needs. With that, the members of ZFR slowly but surely making their way back in towards this game. This round, not as decisive as you would have hoped for, but with one rifle going into the following one, they're able to get a tiny bit of that win streak bonus going for themselves, but still that uphill climb seems to be their reality for now.
I love how Zerofrags is able to so easily lose a round they're winning and win a round they're losing. They're just better at doing the exact opposite. Remember yesterday you were talking about what is up with Zerofrags and their low economy. They're just getting thrifties after thrifties and losing rounds where they should be winning. They're doing the same thing today.
Could just be the possible case here. A little bit dangerous here for the Sova. Might just get run over if he's not careful. Down to his last tiny bits of HP. So setups for Zerofrag now is figure out exactly where the hit is going to go for. The Deadlock waiting for them on the A side and the Cypher playing towards mid and B. What's the answer and what's the game plan here for them? 50 seconds left on the clock. They need to go in for a hit soon. They're waiting to see if Ace make that first move to just give any drop of information of where they could be, but it seems as though for Zerofrags, they need to go in blind.
Kawaki still able to squeeze in some numbers, but on the opposite side, the Clone Omen is going to be able to shut him down and alongside him. With 3 to the name, the numbers advantage will still stay towards the side of ZFR. However, the information that Dr. Evil will be able to collect here alongside that from Izzy is going to be difficult to fight off against. The numbers have been evened out, but still the plant is going to be in a place that's easy to approach.
They're going to be opting to go in for the immediate spray just yet. When given a chance to opt to go in for the spray too, Cage is not going to be the full-on opening. Batman on the angle. He's playing for time here. Halfway defuse is already done. He needs to take the swing and the shot does connect. Rebel able to give his teammate the amount of backup that is required for the full-on defuse. 7-4, ladies and gentlemen, as the lead will stay relevant for the members of Team Ace. No equalization possible, but the possibility of a 7-5 still is present for the members of Zerofrags to try and salvage.
Well, if they are able to get themselves the 7-5, that's still going to be an advantageous situation, because being Ascent being one of those defense-favored maps, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Zerofrags is going to convert things around on the opposite side. However, if it turns into an 8-4, it's not going to be as optimal of a score line for Zerofrags to go ahead and chase behind. However, they do have the room to wiggle now. They do have the safety net of an extra round. A very early commitment of Hunter's Fury from the side of Zerofrags, giving them a very good advantage. Getting the controller down from the side of defense that quickly in the game, definitely going to be a helpful situation. However, the Hunter's Fury from the side of Dr. Evil is also going to be able to pick up one of the most important players from the side of ZFR. That's going to be the Duelist. Being on the attacking side, a very hefty loss.
A little bit of an opening frank here for them. Sleep. He's going to be waiting to see if this Owl Drone's going to give him much here, but then, with the weaker buys, members of ZFR need to try and get something to work. FNU already needed an enemy territory towards the B side, but with one tap god waiting on the opposite end with an operator in his hands. So golden.
One tap god was so close to getting FNoob, but the timing just didn't work out for him. He moved at the millisecond when FNoob came into his proximity. In the meanwhile though, the barrage of kills from the side of Dr. Evil will put them on a winning position. Ace with an 8-4 swap the first half.
This was a smart game plan for them too.
It was a crucial save. FNoob surviving was a big deal. I think he should have been able to convert it.
But think about it, there were only 15 seconds left on the clock. They couldn't really risk it. They wanted to allow FNoob to maybe find an opening kill or something there, but it took way too long. Last 20 seconds left on the clock. You can't really play for the execution like that. You need to have that proper calmness and synergy to make it happen. They panicked under the pressure. Caused them to fall, but regardless, 84 scoreline, an admirable end. That first half, now going on to the defense with significant advantages, I would say, for what they can do. Is he careful? Needs to wait and see where this one goes. With the tripwire being broken, they know that heavy B main control was already established, so playing towards A is their best bet. They're making the rotation, making a 4-man push through from short. Now that is saying something. But look at the positioning of FNoob and the Sova. They can hold on pretty well. It's all about the timing at this point.
He was expecting one tap god to come in, but not ready for the remaining team. Lionel just gets picked off very early on into the game, leaving a 4v3 situation with Zerofrags yet again at the numbers disadvantage.
Finding a kill was paramount for that entire play to work out. Summer does have the paranoia to give them a little bit of an opening. First for the good kill here already. 2 for 1. As Batman, he's still hitting the shots that he needs to, and his team is just on his back. Batman single-handedly jumping in towards the side to find 4. Forget this guy saying he's a pretty good entry. He's the best entry that I've ever seen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Being able to do that right now when it was so team, being able to bring them back from paranoia to just panic and soon to peaceful is gonna be his duty right now. The contribution from the players, quite a number of amazing players just bringing in so much to the table, but still not being able to coordinate with each other in a manner that Ace is able to. Is just putting them one step behind. A nice start, and actually
was a pretty good end to it though. Batman not gonna be able to do much. FNoob this time around. It's an early catch over towards Zezzy. Beam in control already established. They still have to worry about the players that could be coming towards the opposite side. Elite. Multiple different angles that you have to worry about here, buddy. They're playing a little bit more closer together now over towards A main, understanding that there could be another possibility of a short push that could be coming into their arsenal. It's one tap god. Position yet to be revealed. The Drow drone getting the first catch. They know exactly where he is to try and take this hit. Full reset coming in from the members of Team Ace. They can no longer try to brute force this one. They wanted to go for a bait and switch over towards the B side. Instead, they're playing for the mid control, able to isolate out the Killjoy. It all depends on FNoob. This is not a very good fight for them to take, but FNoob able to keep calm, cool, and collected. Catches out Wim. This is where the reset happens for the members of ZFR. They no longer need to push into this just yet. Allow the plan to go through. They as a team.
a good run and good positioning as well from the side of ZFR. They're not only going to be able to seize this, but take this home. 8-6 as the scoreline stands. Round after round, inching in closer and closer. However, you and I both know here's where the story started to change in the first half. And here's where they have to be most alert. If this is one round that they're able to capitalize on, they might not have to worry so much and find themselves an equalizer as quickly as possible. ZFR needs to give everything. Each single player has to give everything they got to this one round. This one round determines whether they even have a hope on this map or not.
And the team should be able to do so. Take your time and do it slow. Batman. Waiting for the opportunity and the reaction time of this guy. Is he actually old? I don't think so, because he has the reactions to make it happen. With the first bullet landing, there needs to be more. Lead able to find the kill. Summer with the secondary. they're still the ones to come out on top when it comes down to the overall trades. And even with the weaker weapons, they're able to turn things around. Now, with the team trying to rendezvous together, over for the flank. This is such a good play.
Oh no,
They're not
Kawaki's
going to be
aware.
expecting multiple. Kawaki, he's on the angle, but if they're able to double swing him properly without losing out on multiple members, this is going to be perfect. Summer, possibly first line of contact. Couple of good smokes. Kawaki taking the first initial bow. It's going to be Summer who gets the kill instead. There could be multiple players coming in from either side. One tap God, the odds are stacked against him. The shot's yet to connect. His position already revealed, but time taken away. One tap God needs to live. He gets the first initial tap. He's able to get the second. Give the last, and it's one tap God in the face. Give it up for the demon himself. As Team Ace gets an ace to take themselves over to the 9. This is one tap God in his element. Doesn't matter if it's at the bottom of the scoreboard, because when he starts to fire up, his team will be at the top.
I cannot even blame ZFR anymore. I mean, in a situation like this, I would have been like, how could you let that person have isolated fights against you? They did not let him. He found that opening by himself. He created that opening by himself to be able to isolate all of those fights. It was necessary for them to stick to the defuse. But in the meanwhile, he was able to go ahead and stick to the kills. One tap God just creating magic all across the board.
Now it's Leon's turn. He's able to find the 2 frags before one tap God finally brings him back down to earth.
I have the spike.
Angered by what happened in that last round. Losing out on a couple of key duels can do that to you. As for now, looking for the fight and looking for the opening here. More opportunity is all that they need. Is Team Ace. No on the man advantage, but even then, even if they have a man advantage, it doesn't really matter if one kill is all that it takes to equalize things out. And have got trying to hunt things through, but his teammates making a slow, methodical play in towards mid. They're trying to possibly go in for a B hit here. Wim making with a lot of early space and positioning. They need to go in through spawn. They're wasting a lot of time, and with 30 seconds left on the clock, they need to make a decision soon.
Well, executing towards site B, they are going to find themselves in entry. There's definitely going to be utility required to be able to make that possible. Walking right into the footsteps of Summer, losing the spike into his feet, putting him yet another frag. This was just unfortunate for the side of Team Ace, the way the round ended. They were definitely running short on time, did not give them a lot of wiggle room to begin with, but it was just unfortunate the way Wimp just walked into Summer's feet. It's undeniable bad luck.
We're just not able to find each other. Overall, though, you can wait it through for now. Team Ace stuck on towards an eco this time. Save their weapons, see what they can find as Elite. Playing with fire there, knowing one tap God, he can still hit that headshot. Sent Elite to the Shadow Realm. It's F-Noob. Putting on the opposite side, has a turret placement to give him all the information that he needs. And with this angle, F-Noob, he's in the clear to allow them to just walk up for free. Even if they do, still have a lot to worry about. The angle, perfect, but Trevel not going into this waiting arms. They want to find the catch over towards the first. They'll need to worry about the player that's on them on the opposite side. One more shot to the body is all that is required. One tap God is able to find that kill, but he's now stuck in behind the wall. Coming in through the back, F-Noob doesn't catch the timing. He is on an island, needs to be careful, but his teammates are giving him the backup that he needs. The annihilation could cause them issues, but even then, he's able to dodge it out. Last couple of seconds, 4 HP in the name of Trevel. 2v2, as this retake looks to be difficult, but if anyone can do it, it has to be Summer and Batman.
Well, they're not looking in the right direction though, but with 1-for-1, it's still gonna be Batman versus Wimp. There's still a little bit of time on the clock. This fight has to happen as quickly as possible. Buying time is the goal, but Wimp is not gonna be able to accomplish that. And with that inching in yet more closer The scoreline set by Ace. The chase is gonna be successful from the side of ZFR. 9-8 as the scoreline stands. They are still making Ace run for that money.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Making things happen. Ladies and gentlemen, members of ZFR, they're inching closer and closer to that point of victory. Just takes a little bit of time for them to get through the motions for it. As of right now, Ace. That last round was an eco. Don't forget that, Anna. And on that eco, they were able to take out 4 weapons from the hands of ZFR. Overall, the economy is not going to be looking that good for the defenders, but economy. Members of Ace, it's about sending that message, that mental notice that you're not done just yet. But the same could be said for ZFR. Hunter's Fury able to find value almost immediately. Wim, hunting down one of the players. Batman, though, is just so ready for it. What is this guy on? How is he so aware of every single angle and fight that he takes? One tap God answering back in kind.
Had to balance the numbers, had to get some advantage.
FNU just gets another. It's so free for them.
The numbers are falling down. One Tap God has to be very careful of how he treads because he's the one hope that could actually bring this game back in the favor of Ace right now. If not, the equalizer is up on the tables and he's gonna be shot at. Will be refragged instantly, but Dr. Evil is not gonna be that big of a deal for the side of ZFR when it's a 1v3 at least. However, that Hunter's Fury does look scary. He has to go in for the plant.
10 seconds left.
Doesn't have a lot in his favor, neither the clock nor the numbers. Will not be able to stand tall in front of Elite, and that will call the end for the side of AC yet again. Defenders giving ZFR the 9th on board. I was not expecting an equalizer on 9-9 for these teams with the way the game was rolling.
It's going to be difficult. These difficulties is, again, where the members of ZFR are really able to come back on. The initial start to this game was just so different, but now that ZFR have warmed themselves up and gotten themselves into the zone, a possible fast hit and a flash is coming through in towards mid. Simply with the kill, One Tap God is able to answer back though almost immediately. Still a dangerous ploy. One Tap God, he wanted to chase, but that's going to be the 1-for-1 trade. Summer getting another big catch over towards the first. DNN able to just drag himself away. Run away, buddies, run away. They're not going to be able to live for long. But Summer gets his turn, and the lead comes in for the backup. He saves both. He saves his one teammate, not both of them. Good God. Was this a chaotic round? It just began and it's already over. 9-10. ZFR, they take the lead for the first time in this map. It's good Lord, Ace. What's happening to you?
The confidence on ZFR is literally soaring right now. The way they've been able to seize this round should definitely give them a lot of morale boost, putting them in a place where they can actually fight again. But yet, I would want them to be very cautious of every single round that's coming forward, because Ace knows how to retaliate. Dr. Evil making sure there's no presence towards mid, clearing the area, trying to move in. Position on F noob is still way too forward. Not something recommended against a team like this. Oh, he's inching forward. Slowly but surely. F noob and Lionel, they want to take this fight and they will be able to convert it as well. With the Cypher gone, no way for Ace to be able to watch their backs.
It's tough. Over the opening kill, Ace able to answer back a little bit here with the opening of their own. Sentinel for a Sentinel, but losing a Sentinel on the defensive side, a lot more painful in comparison to the Sentinel on the attack.
30 seconds left.
Question being, what's the answer? They need to pick a side soon. With only 20 seconds left, B seems to be the imminent danger point. ZFR, they took a gamble over on the A side instead. They want to try to get this fight. Wimp pulls out the graph net to try and get a bit of an opening. They're going to be able to take the entry for free here. Even then, it's not going to get any more simple. Do you believe that One Tap God's having some technical difficulties on his own end? He's stuck in towards mid. So they could just possibly play 3 versus 4 onto this retake. Never mind, he's back. Able to run through, but immediately he gets shut down. The lead's going to be able to take out another. And Ana? I think it could just be over.
Might very well be. Might very well be. The positioning of the players of Ace does give for a good crossfire, but that's not going to be enough. 3 against 1, and that too caught inside the boathouse. He's still going to be able to find one while being flashed, but the defuse is already going on. Annihilation on one player, and still not going to be able to complete the timing. This is beautiful.
He didn't have bullets.
None of the players survived.
Over there. Over
But
there.
it still resulted into a win for the side of Zerofrags. These moments, every single round is going stretched towards the last seconds. Nothing is closing early. And every single second is changing the game, changing the story altogether. Right now, Zerofrags very close to victory, and yet so far because you can never count Ace out.
Doing it all at every turn. 9-11, ladies and gentlemen. That's one other thing. It's Batman. In the mid side, as he's just waiting to see. And expect, but Batman. He's just so ready with the operator. Possibility of the match point just ever so closer here. Inching towards them as he looks for the fight. He's not going to be able to find any form of damage either. Giving away the information that he's already on the angle. As with the Cypher now playing towards the B side, they have a pretty good read that A and mid, with the highest probabilities of them trying to go in for a push. Batman trying to take the shot, misses it out, but that's completely fine because now they are able to gain information. B side looks to be imminent. They're running in towards the side as well. Have to wait and try to fight against 2 players holding from the back of side of B. This could have just gone from bad to worse because now they can no longer take the entry. And the members of Ace are in too deep. They can no longer run away.
Oh my goodness, the Blade Storm is also working its magic. However, Izzy will be able to balance the numbers out. It's a 3v3 converted into a 3v2, but the ultimates on the side of Zerofrags are dead. Definitely gonna give them yet another moment to breathe.
Oh no,
The
this
walls
is
are thin, you can always push your bullets through him. But the fight from the side of Wimp is still gonna stay alive. This 1v2 is not looking very easy for the side of Zerofrags. Even with the ultimate, not gonna be an easy fight at all. They cannot spend it just yet.
Sensor down.
The HP on Wimp is very good, but not the same cannot be said for the side of Kawaki. Did Wimp
Converted
just
this round of absolutely
single-handedly squeeze
nowhere.
this round?
Yep. This round came out of absolutely nowhere. It's just these 3v2 or 3v1 scenarios where the members of ZFR, they're not really communicating with one another. They need you to take it slow, just mentally reset yourself, then go in together. Why are you fighting alone?
They had a good start and they got way too comfortable. Shouldn't have. Needed to make sure that every single step needs to be put on with the right foot forward. This shouldn't have happened if Zerofrags really wants to survive in this match, because I don't think they're going to be able to have as easy a time on the next map. A team like Ace, they take their time to read you, but once they have, they can predict every single page. Why
Just
so
flushed
aggro,
out?
Elite? Why so aggro?
I think he's just trying to gain some information. He got the info that 2 players are waiting for him on the opposite side, but even then, they don't really
Best way
have
to do so,
best
though.
of weapons going in for this. F missed out on the opportunity. 1 shot missed equals to your own death here.
Yeah, that's
from
what happens
somewhere.
with the Sheriff. If you miss the first shot, you're gonna miss the next 2 as well. It just... I don't
Eh?
know why, but it is like
Player
that.
standing.
That's just Batman for you. Now it's time for ZF. Really come through for this one. But Batman just not able to find the answer that they wanted. Good try, but overall, members of Team Ace,
I've gotten both of them before they got him. But yeah, the timeout from this side of ZFR definitely necessary at this point of time. They need at least one round to be able to survive. At least one. Push it to an overtime at least.
it's a difficult piece to say that. Both teams just so evenly matched now. Ace, they know that their own tournament lives are on the line here. One small misstep and they're going to be done for. The individual brilliant moments of players like him and One Tap God just giving them the edge on a lot of these rounds. ZFR, as a team, you need to understand one thing. You need to calm down after you get that man advantage. You can play together as a team, flood in the side, and then take it over. But instead, they're trying to take the duels all by themselves, and these isolated fights are what's giving the members of Ace so many different opportunities to turn every round on its head. Don't forget, you're on the defensive side. You have that option to play it slow after that first hit.
You just need to have the advantage and then stick with it. Hopefully the operator brings some positive results for the side of ZFR.
It's going to be an even more of a bigger problem, though. Leonin trying to be a massive thorn on their sides. Annihilation now being thrown out to try and maybe catch a player. He's going to be able to do so. Gonna get forced back down onto Earth, but even then, other than a kill, he's not gonna be able to find much. The Annihilation finds so much value at the end of the day. This retake does not look to be any easier. Stripwire, I don't think it can be broken either. So F2, he's just stuck until his teammates are gonna be able to get him out.
True that, about time for the lockdown to be deployed, to be honest. I don't feel like there's any point trying to save it for furthermore. They need to take advantage of everything they have. On the side of ZFR, they're gonna keep losing players after players. No more the opportunity for the lockdown, but well, fights will be there and so close to victory. Ace will find themselves fourth for the side of One Tap God in a single round. He has way too many multifrags. I'm not even interested in counting anymore. He just has multifrags. That's it.
You can tell that Leonin was just not mentally prepared for the Annihilation to catch him like that. The hell plays against the deadlock anyways. Even take her ult into consideration. These are what these off-meta pickups can do to you.
Exactly. And look at the kills on the players of Ace. Every single one of them except for Kawaki has 19 kills exactly. Anyways, with the Hunter's Fury being deployed that early on in the game, giving them an advantage of picking easy, it's gonna be slightly easier than what they wanted it to be. However, with this ultimate already in place, they might want to use more and more firepower to make sure that this advantage sticks with them, because they've been making this mistake over and over of just gaining some room and then just giving it away as quickly.
You have a pretty strong stack in towards the B side because you understand the Killjoy likes to play towards A. Answer's good, but the hold really does need to be better. Could have gone from bad to worse, but they're still able to find a kill here regardless. Not the best of weapons. In towards the back end of side, they need to find multiple frags. The Revel able to find another one. Positions known, but the shots are connecting. And it's now all up to Revel to try and go in for this clutch. The shots yet to be found, but he could not get the one that he needed. The headshot missed out, and for members of Ace, a heartbreak of a story, because overtime, it's not a place where this team really shines the brightest, but for the members of ZF, this is a different story.
This is definitely a story that Ace was not expecting. We were not expecting. I mean, yes, the first map did have opportunity for ZFR. We were not thinking they were going to be able to push it through this far deep in the second map. The overtime still has hopes for ZFR to actually go ahead and squeeze us. However, Ace is not going to be forgiving. They're not going to be merciful at all. And there comes a tech pause. We have a little bit of time for the players to actually go ahead and have their mental resets. They're going to need it. It's a very difficult story for both the sides.
We're trying to make this work out. A little bit of a technical pause now being taken to just iron out a lot of the problems that are happening at the back end. As soon as that is all settled in, overtime number 1 will be in front of us. The real question is, in overtime situations, we have seen Zerofrags perform admirably. The real question being, will Ace be able to follow the same suit? Because they know that the pressure is on them to try and take this map. So far, they still have the third map as a safety belt. As soon as that harness releases, it's going to be a swan dive straight to a possible demise on the third map. This victory matters a lot for them because getting to that grand final stage, to that lower bracket run, to have that revenge story up against the members of Nearest Bus Stand, that's what we want to see.
Well, absolutely. I obviously want to go to the third map, but as I mentioned before, I do want to keep seeing more and more of Batman. I don't know. Third map may or may not give them the opportunity to actually go ahead and squeeze themselves as many rounds as this one did. Let's see. One Tap God is again going to be investing in an operator. That's definitely scary because we've seen how this man rules that. Does not have a positive KD, but still has more than enough contribution for the team.
For now, though, operator in the hands of One Tap God here. I think for this will be their biggest pain point and also their best bet. So we do see that Oral Summer, it seems to be the one having the technical difficulty. Hopefully he's going to be back pretty soon. For now, with the time elapsed once more, we're left to wonder of which of these teams are going to be able to take that first initial advantage. Seen it time and time again that Batman has been able to find value at almost every turn. That value always not found in the way that you would have expected. Shock darts, not really landing on target. Dangerous for F-Noob. Needed to be careful for that. Tripwire, spotted out. Able to be destroyed as well as Wimp. Trying to see if he can get a bit of chip damage going and more information. Even then, ZFR, they're not really giving much away.
As they should. As they should. They need to be very cautious. I mean, by now everyone knows that if you talk about the actual fights and game sense, there's definitely much more polishing towards the side of Team Ace. ZFR will have to make sure that they capitalize on everything that can work in their favor. One of them being not giving up any information. However, they cannot slow down so much in the tracks that they won't have time to go ahead and, make a change of plans if that's necessary. With the utils being deployed, it's about time for the entry of Batman, but One Tap God will be missing a shot here, making things slightly more breathable. And just as they realize there's going to be a move coming in from the side of ZFR towards the other side, it's not going to be an easy entry there either though. Deadlock is going to be stopping them in the tracks. And now they don't have enough time. Clock is ticking away. With every beating second, they have less and less remaining to fight for. The numbers will drop, and so will the spike, and so will the chances of a victory here.
This was just such a risky play for them to take. I have no idea what was the game plan going into this round. You can't play the clock down over to the last 20 seconds for an execute. This is where you know that your entire team is gonna break apart. Timing is everything, yes, but to wait for that long is just I question what your overall game plan was going into it. An immediate pause being taken by Summer to just get his team back on the same page because what the hell happened?
Here.
The odds of this, but for now though, they are gonna give a little bit of a ping to just try to get the entire team back on the same board. As you can tell, a little bit more of an advanced game plan with a couple of plays. I do believe that they're gonna try to cut off as much information towards the mid side as they possibly can, with a couple of players walking up from mid. Possibly they could be looking towards a double-sided hit, two smoke towards tiles and a smoke towards the smoke towards top mid, and then with the players walking up to try and catch the players that are pushing in towards A, we'll get the Omen to play for information there. That seems to be the overall game plan coming in from the members of ZFR. And if I am right, yes I am, this is going to be a double-ended smoke. Smoke towards tile, smoke towards top mid, and they're going to walk up. Oh yes, not walk up, they're running up. Never mind, I'm wrong. Okay.
Look at Summer just changing things around for the side of ZFR. They are going to be able to squeeze yet another breath from this round. We've seen this happen yesterday. ZFR was squeezing round after rounds, found themselves the victory. Is today going to be a same story, or will easily change things around? He's taken away two more important players from the side of ZFR. However, there is a crossfire potential, and alongside that, there's also chances for Easy to actually isolate those fights.
Oi.
He's not going to be able to. The lead gets it. A 13-13, second overtime on the board, guys.
Switching sides.
I thought they were going to be walking up, not the run up. I mean, if it works, right?
Yeah.
Just hard W their way in there.
I can't believe that they got that round that efficiently. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I expected the fight towards A main to be a little bit slower, but speed at which they were able to take aim and control and win out on their duels was just so crucial for them. It's one tap god now. Does have the operator in his hands as he needs to worry about the angle and the fight. As the operator finding value over towards the third, but gets immediately traded off, so not the end of the world, I would say. They're able to hold and survive onto this one. Swim. Looking for the engagement, but there's been a massive thorn on the sides of ZFR. As long as they take out the deadlock here, it's gonna give them the edge that they need. Look at the way that Ace are playing as well. They spread themselves out for the 2-2 and left the mid to the tripwire instead.
Not looking very good for the side of Ace right now. However, they are going to be able to find themselves an entry. Wimp has been pushed back.
Push into spawn. Push into spawn. Do not go into sight. Never mind, you can go into sight now.
Exactly. You found the right frag. But Wimp is going to be able to go ahead and take those shots. He is a dangerous man with a gun. Shutting him down is going to be important, but Easy is yet another one thorn in the side. It's a 2v2 fight. Wimp fight Easy off before the next one arrives. Both are at the site. Gotta find yourselves the right positions to be able to do this. Oh no, the fight did not work out for FNoob. Neither did it for Summer. And yet again a victory for the side of Ace. Oh. I don't feel FNoob needed to peek.
He really didn't.
Yeah,
I believe he wanted to try and reconvene with the Omen, but Summer was just not ready to fight with him. Both of them are needed to opt for the swing together, but that's the thing. In the heat of the moment where the communication lines just become a little bit too blurred, can cause problems for you. See Mace back towards match point once again as Zerofrags.
Need a drop.
They're looking for that second opportunity. Third opportunity, sorry.
Well, there's gonna be more and more opportunities showing up for Ace with ZFR. For them, this might be the last. If they don't squeeze this, the next map might not be as comfortable. Not only the game, it's also the endurance. As you keep experiencing more and more of Valorant, you keep getting used to of having longer and longer matches.
If you're used to it, doesn't mean that you're not gonna be fatigued by the entire thing. The flash was good, but Elite, he is now stuck in a horrible precarious situation. The shots need to connect by Elite. He finds the first, but he does die out in the process. You need to be careful of how this hit can go. Zef doesn't need to risk the play anymore. Batman on the corner, in the angle to try and go in for the fight. He's going to be able to find the engagement. Immediately start to run away. You don't need to fight this anymore. Sound being given on the angle. It's going to be the fight for another one. Timing is key. The shots yet need to connect, but the timing and the lineup was perfect. The crossfire positioning of Summer and Leonin was just gorgeous. Both of them had the setup that was required to make things happen as overtime number 2 rolls around, ladies and gentlemen. As a 29 round of the game of Ascent. This is possibly not even the last. I'm expecting another overtime to come through. ZFR, they're not giving up a single inch of space.
That's for sure, that's for sure. We're seeing a pattern. The ZFR is having trouble converting the first round altogether, but in the second one they are being able to convert. So they have to polish up their attacking skills to be able to go ahead and squeeze this. I mean, if it goes to a 14-15 with ZFR being in the lead, it can be very well said that they might very well close it down. But Ace, not gonna be easy opponents as usual. One tap God early on, getting ahead, finding his initial frag. Batman, I wouldn't challenge that operator. I know you've won before, but I wouldn't risk it.
Someone probably misjudged the timing there for the smoke. Try to cross over and possibly just away with it. Will not be that simple. Perfect on the flash. Able to force one tap God off the angle. Don't worry about more though. Trying to force the engagement just yet with only one player to be spotted. One tap God in towards the top, basically meaning that the side is empty, but not going to be risking the play. They're waiting for F-Noob to make that first move. Already in position towards mid. It's all about the timing that he can give them. If they're able to make enough noise towards B, F-Noob, he's going to be given a chance to possibly go in for the play and alert here.
These orange shots are definitely going to be getting them some room, but Team Ace with that advantage can finally close this down. Not so easily. F-Noob!
2 seconds left.
1-1. And Easy is gonna be able to close this.
Ah, that is so sad. It's always them running down the clock to the very last second. You cannot do this. Batman.
That was almost a win.
Yeah, Batman needed to be the game changer there. They're rushing these engagements. That was a very bad flash coming through. If that flash just went through the Cypher cage, or they waited for the Cypher cage to go down first, it would have been different. It's rough. (15-14) as now the rounds are just slipping away with members of ZFR still looking for a possible victory here. Lead. A little bit of a one and done angle if he does get caught here without getting a kill. It's not gonna bode well for his teammates, but never mind. He does find the first, Leonin finds the second, and they're able to hold. Resets coming out from either side. Because now, he can just try to play this one slow. Leonin on the angle, goes in for the shot, and he's able to find value.
It's a
down over to a 3v2.
Again, down on the numbers.
I have the spike.
They're pushing it to a post plant. But there's definitely gonna be some disruption. It's gonna be difficult for the side of ZFR to actually find their way back into the site. The information has been revealed. Batman being pointed out already. F-Noob is finding himself a very sublime entry point. I don't know what to say.
My territory, my
Oh no, that
sticking away
annihilation
as
is definitely
well.
gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're wasting time. ZFR, if you're gonna make a play, you need to do it now. The paranoia was perfect, able to find multiple value points, but Wim still causing all the issues. It's gonna be an ace for Wim. The deadlock just runs everything down. That is the power of the annihilation, ladies and gentlemen. Able to find that first catch on any one of the players, and then as everyone scrambles to try and save them, your team will fall apart. Double aces here. One tap god got his first, and then there was Wimp with his second. Team Ace deserves the title that they do have, and they take the victory for map number 2. It was a very difficult one at that, but with map number 3 on the horizon, a 1-1 scoreline as the decider will be where we figure out who is the one to go over to the lower bracket.
Exactly. We're gonna find out soon enough. But yes, the way the scoreline stands, this has been a difficult run for both the teams, and both must be in a place where they need that mental reset nonetheless. Because it was challenging for both the sides. It was constantly dicey, and I cannot believe how close ZFR was to getting the first round of the last overtime. And if that had happened, we would be walking into yet another one. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, not only the game, the luck is also playing such a strong factor in multiple ways. I mean, the first map, they never even got the chance to play it. Lucky for ZFR, they had a map in their pockets already. The second map, there have been so many chances where you could have actually converted the whole thing around, but it just fell through the cracks. I cannot believe what we're seeing right now is happening in the lower bracket before we even walk into the lower bracket finals. Let alone the imagination of what can happen in the grand finals. I am starstruck.
Either go big or go home. I'm pretty sure that the members of ZFR, they poured their hearts out for this particular match, but the small mistakes, the couple of rounds where they just got clutched upon by the individual brilliances of players like Wimp and One Tap God, is where this game could have really ended. Think about it. A bunch of rounds where they were the ones to take the victory. They were the ones to win. It was just one player that they couldn't really pin down, got them over the line. That's the strength of Team Ace. The X factor that one player can bring onto the table is what is required in certain situations to take victory. They take the game of Ascent, yes, but don't forget this was a home pickup for the side of Ace. And the fact that Ace were not decisive in this, heading on towards Haven, it's not gonna get any easier.
True that. I mean, if you compare both the victories, the first one that came for ZFR was definitely very decisive compared to what came for Ace. Yeah, I'm done with that joke. I'm so sorry for bringing it up again. But yeah, there's definitely one more chance for both the teams to go ahead, step toe to toe. And I think it's gonna be cutthroat yet again, aggressive. I don't think anyone is gonna show any mercy to each other. This is where they decide who gets kicked out of this tournament altogether.
The Neon's gonna be making a comeback here, that is for certain. It's gonna be the map of Haven. Jumping on down over into the scoreboards, ladies and gentlemen, to just see exactly who has been tearing up the entire serve. And honestly, each and every player did their job. I don't think there was one single super serve there that allowed all of this to happen. Batman did Batman things, Wim did incredible. One Tap God was insane, but you have F-Noob, Summer, Leonin, Elite, everyone pulled their weight. Not a single player is a standard player in my opinion. The entire team stood out from either side.
That is true. All I mean is that, being on the losing team and still having more frags than anyone else on the board does say something about Batman. But yeah, the man was pulling his weight, could not sometimes be patient enough. I've seen a couple of rounds where it felt like that was not a fight that was necessary to be a part of. Same can be said for F-Noob as well, to be honest. And that's somewhere one of the reasons we didn't see a couple more overtimes before the decision came out. But yeah, Batman, beautifully done. Well-deserved MVP nonetheless. Let's see how far he can take his team though.
Again, can really take distance, that's for sure. MVP of the map deserved for the Dark Knight here. 28 kills for him. Hopefully he's going to be able to carry that momentum forward onto the Neon as well. His Neon arguably a lot more stronger than his Jet. Knowing the self-sufficient play style, it's still going to work. We're going to be jumping on down over into a very short little break, ladies and gentlemen, as the map of Haven is being set up. Be sure to check out all the links down below the description. We'll be back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with game number 3. A very short little break indeed to allow the players to settle down, because here at the Esports Showdown Series Season 5 Valorant powered by Crucial by Micron with our GP partners Zerofrags Gaming and our BD partners outsmart.gg, the action will have to go on to see exactly who will reach the lower bracket grand final stage, set the tone up against the nearest bus stand. Will it be ZFR, who have been the ones to be shut down and sent into that lower bracket by nearest bus stand, or will it be a change up with Team Ace being able to take that victory? It was a very difficult and grueling one at that for the map of Ascent, their own home pickup. And as they go into Ascent, will ZFR have the steam to keep the fight going, or will they lay over and play dead, allowing Ace?
Might be either one. Seeing how grueling the last match was, I can definitely say that it's gonna be very entertaining nonetheless. Who's gonna win, who's gonna lose is not something we can comment on at all. It's definitely gonna be a close quarter. It's definitely gonna be a close call nonetheless. But in this cutthroat match, someone's gotta win and someone's gotta lose. Whoever's winning gotta make sure that they make it hurt.
Absolutely. You have to get an answer in this. What kind of an answer they're going to be able to find, though, you will always never know that instance. Both teams will have pretty much the exact same composition, so no surprises there. The reason for that is Kaven has now evolved into a map where Neon just does whatever the hell she wants. Even before the Neon buffs came through, a lot of teams in the past were running a Neon and a Sky together. After the Sky changes, not a lot of people found Neon to be as viable anymore, because to play a Breach, it's kind of difficult to get that proper synergy going even back then, because of Neon's incapabilities to try and play on the Breach's utility, because she only had one dash. Now that she has the two, there's so much more things that you can do with this exact combination. You can never really pin down what exactly could be the next plan for a particular team. They could be playing slow, they could be playing fast, they could be even going in for very slow methodical map control, with the Neon breaking a lot of the timings that the defenders could have to try not go in for rotations. There's endless opportunities with this composition for both sides, and that's why this mirror is just so potent and powerful. Anyone who does play the Jet here instead of that Neon will be the ones to suffer the most in.
Exactly. However, neither of our teams have chosen that Jet, so it's definitely going to be a very, equally matched up lineup. But then again, you cannot depend just on the agent composition. There's going to be strategies which might be different from one another, and also there's going to be overall individual player skills which are going to come into play. And being able to, support each other is going to be very, very crucial. We've seen how Batman gets that support from his players. We've seen this time and again. They've played Heaven like twice already. This is going to be their third time in front of us on this particular season. I want to see how the same thing reflects into the gameplay of Ace, because we did miss out on one of their matches.
Knowing Ace, they're going to be able to get this done pretty soon as well, because if I recall probably, Ace's best map pickup that we have seen is technically Haven. This is the map where the team just really is in their element. They understand what they really need to do. This is where their setups are going to be at its brightest. And as the game is going to be loading, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be jumping straight on soon enough. Don't worry about that. The agent selection was done already. So I'm going to give the members of Ace that opportunity to prove us all that why do they deserve to be in that grand final stage here. Because if they're able to win the map of Haven decisively, it just goes to show that this team, they have prepared in every single way to go up against the members of X-Crew. Because X-Crew is their end stage goal. X-Crew is the team that sent him there into this lower bracket. We expected Ace to take and win the Showdown Series Season 5. But instead, X-Crew just came out of absolutely nowhere to take the entire competition by storm.
That they did, and nonetheless they were able to make sure that they made it a roaring, resounding competition from their side, just making everybody's ears ring while they did it. constantly making sure that they had all the light on them. We were talking time and again about X Crew, how they have so much individual potential, how they have so much individual genius in their team, but then that brilliance, it showed up as a completely coordinated one nonetheless, putting Ace in a position which was difficult for them to climb back from. And now Ace is in a place where they can literally lose a chance to even move forward in these brackets, letting alone going to the finals. So, I mean, being able to do that to a team is definitely a win. But then again, if they do make it through, there's going to be a revenge matchup that can happen, which is going to be so painful because it's not going to be just a matchup. It's going to be one filled with endurance because it's a best of 5. 5 maps are going to be played unless and until you're able to close it down on a 3-0, which does not seem like an option for any of the teams. No matter which team goes forward from here, I don't think 3-0 is on the cards if it goes to finals.
Not at all. Because no matter which team goes there, X Crew, they've showed that they can bleed in a lot of situations. They only had that decisive finish on this previous matchup. That's where they were able to take it to win a victory. But even then, it's just not going to be that simple now, is it? We have seen a lot of teams just start to falter when they are coming towards that finish line. And hopefully, Zerofrags is not going to be one of them. They're the underdogs of this story. Team Ace, they deserve this victory tenfold. That's why I'm rooting for the members of Zerofrags, because they have grown so much from the very beginning of this tournament, from the start when this team came together. Batman stated it himself. He's just been playing for what, 2 or 3 months now. Yor contacted him because of his YouTube channel, and now he is here at this stage performing against the best of the best. To go toe-to-toe with the one-tap god, very few duelists ever have that opportunity to do something like that. And to do it even better in some situations than him, that is unheard of. This has been a very interesting Cinderella story for the members of Zerofrags, and here at the map Haven, it's just gonna get even better in my humble opinion. But then again, Haven is a map that does have a lot of twists and turns where one team, if they get a good strong early lead going with their ultimates being cycled through, things could easily just snowball out of control if your opponents are just able to find a proper read on your overall playstyle.
That's true. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult to go ahead and maintain a flawless run on Haven, because you're always going to be faced with constant retaliation. Nonetheless, Haven being one of the maps that all the teams have played a lot on, alongside Ascent, which was the last one. There's going to be very quick adaptations that happen. The more you've played a map, whether you call it in tournament scenarios in scrims, or you go ahead and talk about it just being straight up ranked matches, the more you get accustomed to familiar to a map, the more you become aware of how to adjust on those on the fly moments. And that being one of the key reasons that adaptability on Haven is going to be super high. And alongside that, the scoreline is going to be very close together all through, because both these teams have what it takes to go ahead and make those minute adjustments round after round. Plus, they have what it takes to go ahead and keep bringing surprises round after round. So both of these things combined together are going to put them in a place where they can keep on, having the cat and mouse race all through the game, putting them in a place of discomfort constantly, putting us in a form of enjoyment already all through.
That is for certain. Valorant is a game of uncertainty for that particular reason. There's certain things that you can do and certain things that you cannot, but one thing that you guys can do back at home, as we are going to be waiting for the players to load back in, extremely sorry for the delays once more. One of the players did disconnect, so we're giving him a little bit of time to get back in towards the match, because we don't want a 4v5 to start, especially on a match point scenario. Make sure to check out all the links down below in the description to see our lovely sponsors at Crucial by Micron. If you want to pick up an SSD or a RAM stick, of course, if you want to pair up a GPU, sure to check out Zoltec Gaming. They have the state-of-the-art coolers for their video systems. But overall, I don't really know what more of a picture I can paint for both of these teams, because we've seen the strength of each one, how well the individuals can play. It already just comes down to the execution now. The only one thing that will be changing out from the previous matchup now is Neon.
Do that. I do have a question for you though, and I want you to not be diplomatic. I'm tired of my co-casters being diplomatic all across. But yeah, I want to know from you, if we had seen the first map being played out, as you saw the second, what do you think the chances were for Team Zerofrags to even come to this third map? Like, do you think it might have just closed down on a 2-0 if the first was played in hand?
Knowing the strength of Team Ace, I don't believe that would have been the case. On Ascent, I already told you that as well, that on Ascent there was a pretty good chance that Zerofrags are going to be able to take this one. There was a pretty good chance that they were going to take it because of the way that they were playing. But if map number 1 went in the favor of Team Ace, this would have not been a story of coming over to the third map. It would have been a 2-0 going in the favor of Ace. Because of the way that momentum works, generally we have seen that Zerofrags, they have a hard time trying to fight back from the point of where the momentum just sways against them. Yes, they take pauses, but they require time to build that strategy up. But the fact that Ascent was that first map, they had the energy to constantly go for the back and forth duels up against these experienced players. Every single one of the players on Ace's team, other than Dr. Evil, have played BO5 series that have lasted the entire distance. And I still remember back in the day, these guys had to play 2 BO3s simultaneously because of the amount of 2 BO3s or even 3 BO3s in a particular day because of the amount of Valorant tournaments that happen. Now the Valorant tournaments are a little bit less. Of course, here at the TEC, we're always going to bring more tournaments for you guys. But back then, imagine 3 tournaments happening simultaneously. They played one in the morning, the TEC tournament, then another one right after that. These players, they have played through marathon levels of maps to get to the point that they are right now. So when the young guns come and play like this, Zerofrags, they need to have as much energy as they possibly can to make the plays happen.
Right. So what I'm getting is, you mean that if we've had the first match being played out on screens instead of it being a win for Zerofrags already, we might not have come to the third map at all.
No, there is a high chance that this would have not happened.
Well, I mean, we did discuss it all along, even when we were waiting for the second map to boot up. But then once I saw the second map, my brain was like, I don't think we can trust what we just discussed anymore, because the way Zerofrags showed up on the second map made me feel like there's still a lot that this team can do. I believe that if we had seen the first map, yes, the first map would still have gone towards Ace, but the second might have had a different story. A little more time would have been given to Zerofrags to be able to go ahead and read all the games that come in from the side of Ace firsthand, having played against them. And the last few mistakes that happened from the side of Zerofrags that made them lose the second map might not have happened, and it could just have been a victory on the second map for the side of Zerofrags. However, that's all just an imaginary porridge that we're creating here. The real story will begin now, though.
Yeah. We've given the circulation and we have beat the dead horse as much as we can, but to jump in towards the game, this is where the story completely changes. Both sides evenly matched, no real advantage whatsoever. But with the jump through, one tap god already in deep. This team is working their way up. Spike plant already gone in as well.
Wow.
I question what the play was, but at the end of the day, a 5-man rush in towards Link was all that was required. They have full control. And now I question who is the attacker and who is the defender. Does the retake for ZFR? Does not look to be carrying a lot of weight anymore. Because with one smoke, they do have a tiny bit of a gap to play with. But even then, the bodies just gonna keep on dropping onto the floor.
This is so beautifully executed from the side of Team Ace. Zerofrags could not even realize what happened to them. Team Ace had such a calculated first round. I mean, again, Aggie, how many times do we actually end up seeing a team make a play, follow through with it according to a strategy in a pistol round? Team Ace just goes in, they decide, let's take control of B. They're able to march in easily, and then they not only put the plan but also cover their bases, make sure that there's no entry point available from the links at all, and everyone from the defensive side has to enter through the main entrance point on B, pushing them all into a very crunched up area and then taking fights one after the other as a very casual practice match. I mean, I get it, pistol rounds are easier, but excuse me, that was so smooth.
Zerofrags losing out on one of their members here.
Tripwire destroyed.
No need to try and scavenge up the pieces. Going into the hands of the Sova here. FNU able to find one at the bare minimum. Ezzy on the angle, immediately be able to find the first. Heard the footsteps for the second. Just casually just takes them out. Last one to be spotted in towards the back. It's FNoob. Looking to see if he can find an advantage, but even then, with just a classic in his hands, I do not believe that is going to be the case. 0-2 was Team Ace. They start off on the right foot. Their curse of losing out on pistol rounds doesn't seem to apply for the map of Haven. But early lead.
Absolutely. They do have a bonus round in hand right now, but I believe it's not going to be something that they're going to be holding back on. I mean, the way the first two rounds went, the smoothness of those rounds, the butter smoothness, I believe Team Ace already has at least 2 to 3 frags in this round booked for their names. It's reserved nonetheless. They're again trying to attempt something very out of the box. 4 players already choo-choo training into site A, which is not heavily equipped. There isn't enough utility to hold it back. Plus, the players we're saying towards site A are not going to be the ones who can hold the push as efficiently as you would expect from the players on site B. But well, the rotation has come in and Team Ace will be targeting site B yet again. Let's see how this one turns around. I don't think same mistakes will be repeated by players of ZFR. Oh no, the neural theft.
Got you. Camera taken out.
I need to find this hit now. Walkie. Waiting for the first initial hit to come in from his teammates before they want to go in for this push just yet. It's perfect. Batman with the slide. He's trying to get the kill. He's going to be able to do so. The adjustment was well done. And one by one, the members of ZFR, they're able to flood in towards the side to take the victorious lead. 1-2, ladies and gentlemen. It's the defenders. They're now back in it for the running. The guns, better weapons, of course, that they had, gave them the edge that they needed to take this victory.
True that. I expected Ace to be able to do a little bit more damage. I was expecting them to be able to take 3 players down from the side of ZFR, but it was only 2, and 2 is a very comfortable one. Because for the side of Zerofrags, considering that they are still on the way of trying to build their economy, being able to carry forward 3 weapons from the last round is more than enough when it comes to playing the rounds, as long as they're going to be able to convert the coming rounds into a victory for themselves without the weaponry disadvantage playing in the roles. Ace, however, will have to make sure that they make the best of this one so that there's no economic stability coming in for the side of Zerofrags, who are currently looking strong enough to be able to go forward.
Sova's mine.
It's slow on this one. As we can tell that overall, Ace, they're gonna need to take things a little bit slower. This overall approach. Find any form of advantage early on, as first initial bit of information has been gained. The Omen from the side of ZFR, slight bit of damage, but Dr. Evil towards the angle. He's looking for the fight, but he's not going to be able to find much other than a bullet to the skull. Gave him a bit of a headache, but the reset, he's going to be able to rendezvous with his teammates. Mid now. The big turnaround.
Spike down B.
Seems to be working out well for them. Fast hit in towards the side. They're going to be able to hold it down. Even then, really working out in the way that you would expect it. Maybe 3 on the map. So the slow push in towards the
30
seaside.
seconds left.
They're trying to find the opening here. They'll be able to get it. Even then, it's all about a waiting game. Do you believe that Z?
Spike planted.
He has been disconnected. He's not even moving to try and go in for any form of an open space.
Cover going out.
It's all up to Kawaki to try and find this one. Angle, down, first, and looking for the second. Paranoia in hand to try and go in for this duel, but he's just not going to be able to. Kawaki, he's been doing this quite often with a swing and a clutch to make things work. As Team Ace and Kawaki, they have the answer. 1-3.
Absolutely, the way the match is unfolding, it's pretty exciting to see how the teams are picking up their pieces, coming back into the game. I did see a good round coming in from the side of ZFR, but I can see the overall morale, the overall confidence from the side of Zerofrags already dropping down. It's very evident in the way they're playing the game. The amount of decisiveness that they had until the last map has suddenly gone away. They're questioning their moves in the middle of it. And it's evident in the way they're hesitating in making those beats.
You can tell. Fear factor and the fact that Ace has gotten in their heads is truly a resounding answer in my opinion, because normally you see the members of ZFR be so much more in tune with their overall playstyle. If that's not going to be the case here, difficulties just keep on going. For now, we're going to be jumping on down back over into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We were fixing out some small tad bits here and there, but as Essie, hopefully, is now back in towards the match. Yes, he's going to be moving. They did miss his presence, but Kawaki didn't need him to go in for the victory.
Kawaki just filled in the shoes for both at that moment. I think somewhere ZFR was not even aware of the fact that one of the players is not going to be able to play in this, and that's why Lionel was looking both sides when he already knew the position of Kawaki. In any which case, even by not being there, Izzy was able to make his presence felt. And right now that he is in game, he is definitely making it felt. F Noob being taken down by him.
Amateur.
However, the retaliation will be just as strong. Team Ace on the downside of the number count. Not gonna have an easy time in here. Oh, Swift.
They're just gonna try to run this one down, ZFR. Gonna be able to find a little bit of an advantage overall, but with the ultimates in the hands of Wim, this is gonna cause some issues. Batman has the overdrive ready to try and go for the first hit. It all really comes down to them being able to brute force their way out of these smokes. But with Wim's positioning perfect and ready, he's looking for the fight. Summer in the back, able to find the headshot and the overdrive. Goes in for the final kill on towards Wim. 2-3, ladies and gentlemen. ZFR, even when the buys are not in their favor, the small tad bits of information that they're able to gain and the map control that they establish, able to give them the victory that is required to try and get back into the run.
Well, as history is evident for ZFR on the map of Haven, it's always been this story. They do perform better when they don't have the right weapon. It's always been a thrifty liking story for their side. Let's see if they're going to be able to convert things even when they do get the weaponry in their hands, because that's going to be necessary. You can't keep waiting for you to drain down before you're able to go back up into the ashes. F Noob in a very undecisive position. Does not get the cover he needs. There is a refrag, but this should have happened before losing F Noob. A 4v4, the numbers are going to be still equalized. But the players dropping from the side of Ace are going to be avenged by Wimp and One Tap God. Both the sides with a duelist and an initiator, and a dream to make the lead capitalized. This Fury being used from the side of ZFR not going to result into much, but definitely will be able to push forward the plant, giving yet another breathing room. Oh goodness. That was aggressive from the side of One Tap God. And now the HP on the side of him does not really support him, but we know how good his aim is, so cannot really question it.
I need to plan this one out, bro. Fast rush 2 from One Tap God. Would have gone in pretty badly with Wim being low on HP, but at the end of the day, not the worst of situations, I would say. It's 2-4 scoreline. We just need to see how badly this can go. First hit. It's a waiting game now. ZFR, they have a little bit of an answer with Batman now picking up on that operator, allowing him to be a little bit more of a nuisance here towards the members of Ace. If Ace gets a wind of this operator before it finds value, it's not going to be that simple to try and go in for this first hit. They're looking to set up an overdrive for One Tap God, but they need to get as close as they possibly can before anyone from the members of ZFR are able to catch wind of this set.
True that. From the side of Ace, it does look like a setup for the overdrive, but then again, there's going to be a lot of retaliation on the opposite side as well. Site A is fortified with 3 players online from the side of ZFR. The operator gets its value, and so does the lead from his aftershock. And now the overdrive is coming into play, but unless it's finding as many kills as they want, it's not going to be as useful. Okay, yes, it pushed down the value. Not really overdrive kills, but definitely there's numbers advantage for the side of Team Ace now.
30 seconds left.
A 1v3, definitely a positive situation for Ace. Oh, goodness. Well, this does look like a mountain of calamity on the head of ZFR. Doesn't seem like they're gonna have a lot of easy time trying to march forward from here. Plus, being on the defensive side does not give them as much room to control the pace, specifically against a team like Ace. They will have to make sure that they go ahead and make all the right moves at all the right times.
Here.
It's crucial to go ahead and get those frags, get those early advantages, otherwise they cannot really hope on inching closer to the scoreline that's already been set by Ace. Being the chasers is never the right thing on Valorant maps. Easy with way too much information. Team Ace making their numbers capitalized. Slowly and steadily, complete control of Site C. They're going to be able to go in for the plant. At a very unusual spot nonetheless. Will be able to hold it pretty easily as well. Gonna wait for the players to push in through garage and through long. They're aware that spawn area is clear. And Ultimate has already been committed to no capitalization though. And even with all the information in the world, it's gonna be a difficult run for these ZFR players getting picked one after the other, and now the shots are landing crazily for the side of Wimp, putting Ace on a 6-2. Well, they're not gonna walk into the second half with any disadvantage at least. And the way the game is looking, they're actually gonna walk in with a very heavy advantage nonetheless. We did see an 8-4 swap in the last map as well. However, ZFR was still able to push it to 2 overtimes nonetheless. Let's see if this is going to be the same story being rewritten on the map of Haven. Good weaponry on both sides. The operator coming back in from the side of Batman. Going to be a scary one, but this time it's going to be deployed towards Site C instead of A. So let's see how much value it's going to find there. Ace will be stopped in its tracks. The aggression will be controlled, and by the way Lionel is moving, it seems like there might be a potential Kawaki frag coming into action. However, the angle from the side of Kawaki is also very strong. He will get taken down but refragged instantly by his teammate. The numbers will still look good for the side of ZFR. Ace will have to struggle to make their way in this time around. They will be able to balance things out, also put themselves in an advantage towards the last few fights. It wasn't a necessary aggression from the side of ZFR. They could have held back a little bit, could have waited for the rest of the team to arrive so that they could go for a retake with a man count advantage, because they needed that, considering their Neon is playing on an operator, which is not the best weapon to play retake on site A with, specifically if you're coming from the spawn side. F-Noob is gone too. This does not seem like a very winnable situation, considering the positions on the players of Ace are just as good. Maybe one exit frag is what they can look for, but that's about the end of the story. Okay, call it two. Oh goodness. Getting that close to victory and still not being able to make it must be hurtful for the side of ZFR already. 2-7 as the scoreline stands, they're just not getting any closer to where they really want to find themselves.
Right there.
Having put up that strong a fight, that longer fight in the last map, and then finding themselves in such a big disadvantage on the next map.
There.
Definitely gotta hurt.
Go, go, go.
That man yet again ready, this time being much more proactive than you would expect him to be, with the overdrive available for himself. He is gonna be taking aggressive peeks, but he does get spotted by that owl drone. Will be getting some support, however will choose to back down for this.
Yeah, they're not going to be risking much of a fight into this Madman though. Looking to try and get a little bit more of an early advantage, but for now, just gonna need to try and hold on to this lead. Good for the first kill. Summer's gonna be able to find the secondary. He's gonna get forced out back in towards the open, but still, the stun now going past Summer. Could cause some issues with the sheriff. But even then, simplicity is gonna be there. As Elite looking for the back of this. This Batman with the overdrive again could cause a lot of issues here. Looking for the first kill, could find the opening. He deals damage, and once from the back and once from the front. Poor old one-tap god. He has no business trying to fight into this one. ZFR, they take the victory in a very decisive fashion. And it's always about the Thrifties, about this team. When it comes down to the lower prize, they transform into demons.
Yet again, with that round, I am shocked, if you know what I say. The way ZFR has been playing this out, it's been amazing. But yes, you cannot depend just on the Thrifties. I mean, come on, you cannot keep waiting for the numbers to keep getting down for you, for all the chips to fall back on the table, for you to be able to go ahead and squeeze some rounds. And well, a tactical timeout from the side of Zerofrags. Very necessary, very essential at this point of time. I do want to see a little bit more of F-Noob. I am going to point out one thing though, that ZFR, they are trying to be slightly more aggressive, which is fine. They are trying to take up a little more space. Good, they should. But in trying to do so, they are also losing space at the same time. They tried to come back much more forward from site A and site C, but left garage completely open, giving too much space for Team Ace to go ahead and acquire the whole site. Not the most optimal way to execute. I mean, if you're taking more space, go for it. I'm all for it. But then also make sure that you're not giving up essential spots in trying to do so, right?
Absolutely. For now, though, I have to see exactly what Ace is going to try to do to try and stop these. As soon as the ult comes online from the members of ZFR, it's going to cause even more problems. With the Hunter's Fury in hand, possibly the Rolling Thunder coming out soon as well. They need to try and get this hit done as quickly as they possibly can here. For the initial hit, the Hunter's Fury finds value almost immediately. Neon and his Hunter's Furies have been so accurate. Even on the map of Ascent, he just always has the best reads on exactly where their opponents are going to be holding on to. With that, opening frag, all the advantages They're able to do wonders. Anyone to be spotted behind the ultimate here. The Rolling Thunder has been utilized. Try and stop the rush, but instead, they're going to be going for the bait and switch. It's all up to SE. Goes for the first, he goes for the second. And this is Team Ace, ladies and gentlemen. They have all the raids that you would have wanted. And somewhere, he tried to beat the timing, but he was just not able to find it. Vienen, stuck inside the corner, does get shot out at the very last second. Somewhere with a couple of bullets at the end, peppering away at SE. But the shots are yet to connect. 3-8, ladies and gentlemen, as Team Ace, they take the round. ZFR, they're left scratching their heads. They had the perfect read. They had the macro going beautifully. They baited out Wimp's ultimate. But they could not quantify exactly where Ezzy could be at. With the backstab, they take that victory.
They do, they sure do. However, even more than the backstab, I like how the last frag was taken from the side of Ezzy. He was casually walking out of the site, turning around, trying to look for players on the outside. Suddenly sees bullets come out of the window and then turns around and he's like, oh yeah, hi there. It was a very casual kill from his side. In any which case, one tap God, again with his overdrive, way too deep into the site, trying to make more and more space for his team with complete support from the side of Wimp. Will be able to find one more if he is just able to point his fingers to the right direction. Will be running out of his overdrive just in right time, giving Lionel more room to breathe, but not enough for them to get comfortable just yet. The numbers are balanced out, the advantage rolls in the favor of Batman. However, retaliation is going to be just as good. The time is ticking away. They have to be a little more quicker on their feet. But they won't be able to live long enough to do that. Dr. Evil and Wimp closing things out. Ace with a 9-3 swap for themselves. If it's a curse, it's a sad time. But other than that, very well done from the side of Ace. They did not give up much to ZFR. Out of 3, 2 of the rounds ZFR has are 50s.
They're doing everything that they can to get those thrifties. But even then, like, I don't know what happens to ZFR when it comes down to these buy rounds. It feels as though the team just loses direction. They have all the big plans in their heads, but none of the plans are just bearing any form of fruit at all. Certain situations, I do get what happens, but you're not able to find an answer quickly. Your team is losing out on multiple different opportunities here. Trouble spotted out the first one. It's going to be risking that fight. So the patience can tell that the attackers, they're looking to see if they can find the first hit towards the seaside, but even then, it will be dangerous. Even a drop of sound across any part of the map here. Silence is eerie. You know what happens when things get a little bit too silent. Give it a couple of seconds, and immediately chaos erupts, exactly.
This is just the calm before the storm. Dr. Evil waiting silently, patiently for any move to happen. And the read on the side of Ace is just so good. Every single player from the side of ZFR is entering the site. They have acquired some space. They are going to be able to go ahead and put their plant down as well, but they won't be able to survive. Life is of question here. Life is of essence here. And that was lost so quickly from the side of players from the side of ZFR. It's a 10-3. And yet again an advantage for the side of Ace, which can be capitalized upon. The weaponry that they will get now might just give them a rewarding 11.
And that they do have an answer for it all. ZFR. Gonna need to try and break into this. Zerofrags, they're looking to see if they can find the opening entry, but the start was a little bit lackluster there. One tap gone, it just happened over here. It could have gone a little bit better. But even then, gonna have issues with this. 3-11, ladies and gentlemen. It's good God. They're gonna need to turn this one around soon. You see Mace. They've taken 11 rounds. They're 2 away from taking this victory. And also taking the series. Plus, kicking out ZFR from this entire tournament.
True that. They seem to be in a very, very big rush as well. The way Team Ace is playing, their rounds are smaller than the buy phases. Their rounds are so quick, so swift, and still so smooth. The way they're executing is completely unimaginable. This time around, it's going to be a C hit from the side of ZFR. They're still looking forward to opportunities of finding and execute in there. There's going to be tripwires all across. It's not going to be an easy site to rush into. Still saving away. They're going to find themselves an entry, and this time around find themselves frags as well. There's a numbers advantage for the side of ZFR. However, the plant has not gone in yet. It's in the process, and one tap God trying to get those numbers up. Has his fingers pointed in the right direction. Gets a frag, but then gets traded instantly. It's a 2v2. Very little HP on the side of Summer. Gets taken down, but it's a Sova versus Sova. Putting Lionel on the winning side of it. 4-11 as the scoreline stands. They're getting rounds, but I think it's too late already for the side of ZFR. They need to literally make sure that they make no mistakes whatsoever all across till they reach an equalizer nonetheless.
I think they'll be able to find this equalizer position, but even then, it's not going to be that simple now, is it?
Nobody
Still
can be simple.
so many rounds, yeah. Nobody can be. For ZFR, that's exactly what they need to be.
True that.
One tap God?
Goodness, one tap God.
Oh, how far did he wanted to go in for that fight? Everyone tried to follow his route. But they took 1v1 individual duels. None of them were able to find the trades in ZFR. Just capitalizing on all of the chaos created by one player. The trades just looking better for them as it's 2 versus 4 post-plant. I don't really think the retake's gonna happen. Yeah, that's true,
Yeah,
but there's no way they're gonna get it away.
Exactly. The post-plant positions from the side of ZFR are too good to be contested right now. Even though there is very little HP on Summer, there's definitely a lot of fight in the players. And it's going to result into yet another victory for the side of ZFR. They do lose one player, but still not Summer. That tiny slither of HP kept him alive all through the round.
This is a nice spot.
5-11 now. Ultimate's in the hands of ZFR. Play a little bit more aggressively. Rolling Thunder is still decently far away from everything. So the Hunter's Fury can find a pretty good opening for them to play into. One of the best things of playing Sova into a Cypher is you don't need to save that Hunter's Fury for a possible lockdown anymore, which was one of the biggest pain points as a Sova player. You normally play the Sova to counteract the Killjoy. Against the Cypher, not having that restriction, you just change your overall playstyle. Going into this round though, things are going to change quite drastically. Possibly a stun over towards short, trying to find the catch over towards the first player. One tap God doesn't really have the answer that he would have wanted. Zef noob spots out the player, but with everyone just running in towards him, Drevel able to find the first shot. He's looking for the second, but it does not connect. If one more kill did happen towards short, there was a good possibility of this clutch being a probability for them. Kawaki, there's only so much that he can do. Opting for the fake plan. He wants to go in for the defusal. Goes in for one more kill. He's able to find a little bit of value. But somewhere in towards heaven is going to make sure nothing else is going to drop down on them. ZFR, they've invested heavily into this round. 2 big ultimates now gone. How will they hold moving forward? A little bit worried.
No cost is too big for a little bit of hope. The world requires a lot of it, and so does ZFR right now. Yes, it was just one round, but it was still getting them closer and closer to the scoreline set up by Ace already. So I think having put up those ultimates for the cost of it is not going to hurt any one of them at all. However, they do have to continue this streak as far as possible to be able to find themselves a victory that they would be able to condole themselves for.
Take flight.
Dr. Evil with that Hunter's Fury will be able to find Batman. The opening is now going to be difficult to look for. Inching very close to a series point here. They'll find the second frag as well from the side of Team Ace, ZFR, with a 3 up against 5. Still not the worst of scenarios, because being on the attacking side, you can always go to a site with lesser population and keep your numbers up. But that's not going to be an obvious situation. You have to have a lot of information to be able to go ahead and make that decision.
Smallest points is where you can change how a team overall plays. As you can tell, Yanan trying to be that first line, but he was not ready for the duel, but the lead was. Trades are simultaneous, but you have lost too many bodies to even call that a possible trade for yourself. Kawaki with the paranoia to stop any form of rush that could be coming in from one or the opposite sides. Dr. Evil goes in for the final kill. 6-12, ladies and gentlemen. That's map point, series point, and technically lifeline point for the members of ZFR. It's either you take this victory, or you are going to be sent out of the TEC Showdown.
They have to squeeze out every single value that they can from every single opportunity they have. They cannot step back. They cannot let anything slide through the cracks. 6-12 as the scoreline stands. It's a very long climb for the side of ZFR. And yes, Batman, you deserve to be pissed right now. Will be able to go ahead and find himself a frag. The anger should calm down by now. But he is in for more and more. Pushes down the players from very essential positions, and now the plant is going to go in as well. I think this might very well get converted into a win. You never know though. The positioning on the players of Team Ace does not look as optimal as you would want it to be. The ultimate being committed already, and the numbers falling down one after the other does not give a winning opportunity to Ace.
One minute. Did Wim ult?
Yes.
When they were 2v4?
Yes.
Did I hear you say yes?
Yes.
I like the ambition, but I don't like the ambition this much. What did you want to do? Run in to save the operator and use one tap god as collateral?
I'll do my job.
I'm confused.
You can give them the benefit of the doubt here. They have way too many extra rounds in their hands. They can literally win off of
things
from the opposite side.
Even when he was playing on Sai's team in the past, he always had the most questionable plays. Like, one time in a series, if he doesn't do something questionable, it's not Wim.
Well, we at least know it is him.
Salamat, thanks.
Hey, who am I to judge? Maybe he had like a master plan and everything all set up, knowing him.
A master plan which can benefit from the fact that he does not have a rolling thunder anymore? Yeah, I believe you.
I mean, Kuna Matata.
Hey, at least he cannot fat finger anymore.
True.
Could have been the reason. In which case, the numbers are still not looking good for the side of Ace. It's yet again looking like ZFR is going to be inching closer and closer to that victory. Site A has been a boon for them. However, this operator is definitely going to be getting in their tracks. Is he making it so much more possible? This is a 2v1 that they need to keep on. But might just be able to find it, but he won't. And the time has also not been on the side of ZFR, having come so close and still lost so badly. This is a painful loss for the side of ZFR, but nonetheless a very well-deserved victory for the side of Ace.
Absolutely. there could have been a lot of instances where ZFR were able to take this victory, but then again, like I already did tell you before this map even started that this will be an uphill battle on the map. Dave and ZFR are not really going to be able to coordinate on the same level as a team of Ace's caliber. Ace already did the scrims. They are in a boot camp. They have been sticking together with each other, living with each other pretty much, I'm pretty sure, for months now. So they know each other's playstyle by the T. They know how to trade off of one another as well. Some questionable plays here and there when they are overconfident, yes, but Team Ace is still the best for a reason. They know how to play together as an absolute unit, and they are going through each and every match. In every instance, when you look at them, then you had One Tap God performing well and not really going by himself anymore. Before, One Tap God was just trying to be self-sufficient. He ran in, willy-nilly, took as many duels as he could. He won the duels, got his teammate into a good position, and that's it. But this time around, that wasn't really the case. He stuck to his guns, played with his team, made sure he opted for as many trades as he possibly can. Plus, he never really peeked out without any form of utility information or utility set. I like the overall setup coming in from Ace. Similarly, the members of Zerofrags, they also tried their hardest, but where did they lose it? They lost in the overall map control. They had too many players spread out on too many different positions, and at the end of the day, they could not really decide which part of the map did they really want to fight for. And when you're in a situation like that, up against a team of Ace's caliber, who are constantly trying to fight for trades, you are never going to be able to find any form of victory on any part of the map. Meaning your side hits are going to be weaker than ever.
Absolutely, and the way that it was happening, it was so evident since the beginning that from the defensive side of view, it was going to be very difficult for the side of ZFR. However, if they did have the opportunity to actually start on the attacking side, the story might have been a little longer stretched, but that's about it. They were able to bring in quite a few rounds on the attacking side, but it was just not played as long because there was already a huge number stacked up for the side of Ace in the first half itself. With everything said and done, it's still a very crucial match that ZFR was a part of, and I think they've learned their lessons, and the next time they show up in Showdown Series, they're going to be able to deliver way more than what they did this time around.
I don't really know what to expect here, but MVP of the map will be Ezzy this time around. Not that big of a surprise, but at the same time, a slight bit of a surprise because Ezzy, he's one of those unsung heroes, I would say, for the side of Ace. Time and time again, when we talk about Ezzy as a player, he only starts to come alive when his team are already winning. Think about it. His team's winning.
Yeah.
That's when he's able to make the biggest impact. When his team is having a little bit more of a harder time and it's a neck and neck battle, that's when One Tap God comes up. When his team is losing, then it's always Wimp who comes into the picture and just turns into that guiding light for the team. But on the map of Bind, if it ever does happen, that is where Ezzy's playground is at. 46 kills though for this particular series. He did play the 2 maps with 6 first bloods to his name with a 44% headshot percentage. He had a really good game to play with overall.
Absolutely, absolutely. We did not see him becoming the MVP of the first match because that was taken away from by Batman. Being on the losing side, he was still able to get more kills than anyone else. However, on the second map, the players from the side of ZFR just did not get enough room to shine because Ezzy just took every bit of light away from them. Combining both of the matches together, we are definitely in a place where Ezzy looks like the MVP of the series. And very well deserved of that nonetheless. I am just waiting to see how this team is going to turn tables as we go forward.
Really know what to expect from this particular roster, but what we do know from the side of Zerofrags is they have just dropped out of this entire tournament. It's a sad story for them because in a way a lot of us were hoping this underdog tale would turn into a reality where they would be the ones to reach that lower bracket grand finals, possibly go in up against nearest bus stand, take that victory, just really show everyone that they deserve to be here. They're a team that have leveled up so much throughout the entire 5 seasons of the Showdown series, but sadly, they're gonna need to level up one more time. We still have season number 6 around the corner, so hopefully Zerofrags, they does start together to the very end to make this happen once more, where they possibly could be the champions. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all that we have for you for today's matchups. Tomorrow is going to be only one BO3, because of course there's going to be the lower bracket grand finals before the true grand finals does happen later on the 20th, the day after tomorrow. So make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell down below to get notified for anything that we are doing here at the Esports Club. Also make sure to follow our social to see exactly how the level up leaderboard works, plus all of the other tournaments that we are hosting as well from there. As we're dabbling down there for the social media, make sure to check out the lovely sponsor as well from Crucial, and of course Zotac Gaming, because if you want a graphics card, RAM sticks, or even an SSD, we have you covered here down below. And with that, we're going to be closing up for the Esports Club Showdown Series Season 5 Valorant, powered by Crucial, by Micron, with our GPU partners being Zotac Gaming and our media partners gossip.gg. Good night and happy gaming.
When are you gonna upgrade your system? Alright, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.